Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm here on Westbrook Bay in Margate, and as you can see, it's raining, and today I'm going to show you that no matter how bad the weather, you can actually still make a nice painting, okay? So, as you know, in England it rains a lot, and I'm going to come under here. Actually, I don't know if you can hear me under here. In England it often rains quite a lot, and that doesn't mean you can't paint. So I've got a setup here which will allow you to be able to paint in pretty much whatever weather. So the nice thing about oil painting is that the oil paint won't actually mix with the water. But that said, it can still be a real pain if you get a lot of water on your painting. So what I've done here is I've got a tripod and I've attached an umbrella to it. And I'm using a see-through clear umbrella because that way I can still get light on my painting. Let's move this under here a little bit more. And this way I can kind of stop the water from getting on my painting. But anyway, let's give it a go and let's see how this holds up. If you're curious to see how that painting turned out, then I'll upload that video to my YouTube channel this coming Sunday, so the 30th of May. And if you're watching after that date, that video will be at the end of this video, so there'll be an end screen and you can click on that video. But as the main focus of this video is to give you tips on how to paint in the rain, bits of advice, things to avoid, it's a bit easier for me to go into a bit more depth and detail about my setup here in the serenity of my studio. So the first thing that I bring that's different to say if I was going to paint on a standard sunny day is I bring a spare tripod. Now this tripod is what's going to carry my umbrella, what's going to hold my umbrella, which is going to shelter me and my painting from the rain. But it's important to get a tripod that can fully extend to about head height. That way when I attach the umbrella, it's going to cover me and it's going to cover my painting. And if you're interested in buying this exact tripod or any of the materials I use, I'll put Amazon links in the description of this video so you can click on them and then get the exact same product that I use. And I guess if you were going to paint sitting down, you could probably get away with a smaller tripod. And then with my Plein-Air setup, I'm using the same setup that I would use if I was going to paint anywhere in the world. So I've got a strong Velbond tripod, which is really strong and sturdy, and it means that my painting won't get blown around in the wind. I've got my own pochade box that I built by hand. And if you're interested in seeing how I made my pochade box, then I'll put a video link at the end of this video so you can click on that and see how I made my own pochade box. The next thing I need for painting on plein air in the rain is an umbrella. So this is my umbrella. It cost me about £12, maybe £12.99 I think, something like that, and I bought this on Amazon. You want an umbrella which lets in a lot of light, because that light from the sky is what's going to light your painting and what's going to let you be able to see your palette and your canvas. So you want an umbrella which is going to let through a lot of light. If you have a black umbrella, then it's going to cast a dark shadow over your painting. And if you say had like a different color umbrella, like a pink umbrella, it's going to cast a pink shadow over your painting, which will make you make some probably quite bizarre color choices. For me personally, I think it's best to go with a clear umbrella, or a white umbrella could also work. The next step is to attach the umbrella to the tripod. What you need to bring with you is some strong water-resistant tape, such as duct tape or Gorilla tape, and a pair of scissors or a knife. I'm going to start by just cutting off a little bit of this, like so. So I've got a little bit of tape here, and this is just going to be able to hold the umbrella in position. For a moment. And then once I've done that, then I can get a lot more tape and I can just really wrap it around. I can probably even have it so it kind of rests against some of the tripod here. And then I'm just going to wrap it around until I feel like this is really secure. Then once it's secure, I can then cut the tape. And there you can see I have a umbrella which is going to shelter me and the painting. Now the most important thing about your umbrella is that it's actually going to shelter the painting, because it doesn't matter too much if I get wet, but I don't want my painting getting wet because it will make it really difficult to put the paint down. So I'm going to move my tripod so the umbrella will cover as much of the painting as possible. So something like that, you can see the painting is covered by the umbrella. The palette is also covered by the umbrella. So it's super important that the palette is covered by the umbrella, because it's one thing trying to put paint down on a canvas which is a little bit wet, but it's even harder trying to mix the paints when your canvas has a whole pool of water on it. So it becomes really, really difficult. And then you put your brushes into there, and then your brushes get wet, they lose the spring to the brush. So you want to try and have the umbrella to cover the palette and your canvas as much as possible. Also, what you can do as well is, if, say, your canvas is picking up a little bit of rain, sort of rain's coming in from a funny angle, you can actually tilt the canvas down slightly. And I find often if drips kind of drip down, they're probably more likely to drip onto the back of the canvas or my panel. So this is pretty much the main setup. However, there are a few things I'm also going to do. If you've ever been outside with an umbrella in a rainstorm, your umbrella can kind of get blown all over the place. So it's really important that you have your tripod weighed down. So the nice thing about this tripod is that it has a hook at the bottom. I've got my own bungee cable. I could hook that onto here and then hook that onto my bag and put my paints in my bag. I can put these all into my bag, and this will weigh this down and keep this nice and sturdy. And I can do the same thing on my tripod. I can hang my bags, my rucksack and everything to the tripod. The reason why I attach my umbrella to a separate easel rather than my own easel, my own plein air box, is because even though I've tried doing that before to set it up to my easel, what I often find is that this umbrella, it will shake as the wind rushes through and everything. And if I have this on my easel or my plein air box, it's going to cause my painting to shake, and that's going to be really annoying when I'm trying to paint. Also, in that particular video that I started with, I was painting on a beach. And the nice thing about painting on the sand is you can actually dig your tripod into the sand, and that will also give it a bit more resistance to the wind, so it's a bit less likely to fall over. Another top tip for when painting in the rain is, let's say some rain ends up going on my painting and I've got splashes of rain on there. There's a real temptation to panic and try and wipe the rain off, but you should really try and avoid that, because if you try and wipe the rain off, sure, you may wipe the rain off, but most likely you're going to wipe quite a lot of the paint off and make a real smudge. So it's best just to leave the rain on the painting until the end, and then just let the rain dry in its own time. And because it's oil paint, the rain won't affect your painting, because oil and water, they won't mix, so it will just dry, and then you'll never know that it had been covered in water. Or if you want, if you've got a hairdryer, you can go over it with a hairdryer and dry off all the rain. Just one other point. If you're like me and you make your own panels, is you want to prime both sides of the wood with a water resistant wood primer. That way the rain won't cause your wood to rot or warp. So you want to make certain both sides are primed. So this side is actually primed with a wood primer, a sealer, and then I've gone over with a sort of neutral grey colour, and the back I've just used the white primer on the back. If you have any questions about painting in the rain or anything, or just my plein air setup in general, comment in the comment section below. And I hope that video was useful and has given you the confidence to go out there and paint in the rain. You can get some really nice dramatic paintings out there, especially if you're by the sea or there's some storm, there's some mountains. You shouldn't let the rain put you off. Wrap up warm, get a waterproof coat on, some waterproof shoes, and enjoy it. If you prepare right, then you can do a really nice painting and you'll be able to bring it home safe. I hope that's given you a bit of inspiration. Remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Also, you can follow me on my Instagram at George Frederick Thomas. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and don't get too wet.